Welcome to the thymus dependent versus thymus independent antigens. What is the core concept? The MHC presentation will determine the T cell response. Antigens not displayed on MHC molecules will have a thymus independent. That is, there will be no resultant T cell response. But antigens that are displayed on the MHC molecules will result in a robust T cell response. So why certain antigens are displayed, why certain antigens are not displayed? The antigens which are proteins, the protein antigens are displayed on the MHC, thereby producing the T cell response. So even unusual proteins, if it is a protein, it can induce a T cell response. Say for, like flagellin, poly-D-glutamic acid capsule, sin, anthracis, and any protein-based antigen. But when there is a non-proteinaceous antigen, then there is no T cell response. These require conjugation to proteins like lipopolysaccharide, polysaccharide capsules, and other carbohydrates. What do they mean by conjugation? The Haemophilus influenza, typhoid, meningitis, Neisseria meningitis, and Streptococcus pneumoniae, all they have non-proteinaceous antigens. They cannot produce thymus dependent T cell response. In that case, the memory will be short and the response will be poor. So in order to use them, in order to provide vaccines for them, when their lipopolysaccharide or non-proteinaceous antigen is injected in the body, then it will not produce adequate immunity. Therefore, their non-proteinaceous antigen is conjugated with a protein, thereby producing desired immunity. At this juncture, I want to tell you about conjugate versus toxoid vaccines. Conjugate is the one where the polysaccharide capsule is conjugated to proteinaceous substrate, whereas toxoid is where the proteins which is produced by diphtheria and tetanus are administered directly, producing the response. So when the protein is administered, when the toxin is administered, the toxin which is in the protein form is administered, then that is known as a toxoid vaccine. What do you mean by memory cell production? What is the key difference? In thymus dependent, that is when there is MHC class 2 presentation, then memory cells are produced and it is long lived. When there is thymus independent, when the T cells are not produced, then the T cells are not activated, then there is no memory cell produced and it is short lived immunity. You might be having a doubt, can a B cell antibody production happen without a T cell? Because for the B cell to get processed and produce the specific antibody for class switching, for somatic hypermutation and affinity maturation, we need the help of a T cell. Here in thymus independent, the T cell is not involved. So how does it work? B cells can in turn produce antibodies, but only for specific antigens. In thymus independent antigens, they will cross-link with the B cell receptors strongly, and it will produce IgM, which is a weak memory. But in thymus dependent, proteins requiring T cell help through MHC class 2, CD40 and the cytokine production, strong response with memory. So this is a small picture to emphasize. In thymus independent, the antigen, the B cells and the antibodies are produced against it to neutralize them. Here we have the antigen which will activate the B cells to produce a helper T cells, resulting in class switching, and the particular antibodies are produced. With this, we have come to the end of our presentation. I have an announcement. I'm starting my mentoring classes. If you like my videos and if you want to get mentored by me, if you are a medical graduate or an MLA aspirant, I'm happy to mentor you. You can send me a message in the comments. All the best for your exams.